There's something about space that's fascinating, be it the endless possibilities of what to see and just what creatures could be out there, to the environments, and I feel like Mario Galaxy captures that really nicely, with some like Good Egg Galaxy which doesn't really have a theme and is more just little planetoids with whatever on them. And whilst most galaxies in this game do follow a theme of some sorts, aka desert, beach, haunted house, making the game feel more like Mario 64 rather than being in space, there's one stage whose premise should have been about the vast unknown of space. And that galaxy being... If those amps have faces, I'm gonna fucking yell. I mean, I won't. Space Junk Galaxy, which by name is honestly exciting. Space Junk implies no solid theme other than the empty yet beautiful expanse of space. And yet, why does this level feel so boring? And dare I say, thematic. But what makes Space Junk not only feel meh going off gameplay, but meh going off thematic and just meh as a whole? But before getting too far into it, make sure to subscribe because near at 1000, I will make Discord at 1000 and drink Gamer Fuel. Video now. Firstly, I'll talk about what's wrong with Space Junk mission-wise, as it's a shorter part of the video, and starting with Star 1, which I don't really have many problems with, as it did sort of make you feel as if you're going through, well, Space Junk. Random asteroids, rocks, and all fairly small, and even at the end, which, while boring, I'll discuss later, is fine, I guess. Now, Star 2, Camella's airship attack. Probably my least favorite mission in Mario Galaxy 1. Probably. As even discussed in stage design, this level is pretty meh. Just a few ships and launch stars and then a boss. Then Star 3, Terrantox's Tangled Web, which is another kinda meh level, besides the fact that you can kill a toad here because that's hilarious, and the rest of the mission is also pretty meh, as there's not really much to do here and the boss is fine, not my favorite, but I don't hate it and I don't have much against it. But now, onto the biggest problems with Star 2 and 3, and that being, what does this have to do with Space Junk? Like, with the name being Space, Junk, Galaxy, I'd expect the feeling of being alone in the vast emptiness of space, that there is nothing here, just random debris that managed to culminate here. And so, yeah, why does everything feel like it has a theme? Of the spiders, then with the airships, like, this doesn't feel like junk. It feels like, well, a thing slapped together. And I do like to think that they did intend to probably go for a theme of isolation originally. As first, the first star does sort of follow that formula of you are alone and you are pulling yourself along. And that is very cool. And the background music is also very soothing and calming. But it's also undeniable that it doesn't make you feel a bit lonely. Like, it is nice and relaxing, but when you're slinging from Pulsar to Pulsar, it does feel isolating from the louder parts in the music that I think are violent, to the sound that I think comes from a handpan that sounds like you're entering uncharted territory. Which is why it's insulting that past Star 1, you only hear this theme for a few seconds before you get the generic intense theme, which, frankly, doesn't feel isolated. It feels like there's 12 people within pissing distance. And yeah, I like the tense theme, but it doesn't fit here. And that's honestly my biggest problem with Space Junk Galaxy. The theme. Be it musically, thematically, stage designly, it isn't followed. It just feels like an afterthought galaxy, one they made because they had a few hours left after development. And I know I'm repeating myself, but stuff like Bowser's airships being fully operational just doesn't feel like Space Johnny, and it feels more like the creators only had like half an idea for a stage about vast openness of space and then gave up. And also the Secret Star is meh. It's just genocide, and trust me, I may love genocide, but it's still a bit unthematic and meh for a place like Space Junk. And to do a little recap, Space Junk Galaxy suffers from most of the theme not being followed, and also failing to implement its theme of being, you know, space and junk, effectively mostly just leading to airships, which are basically in every boss galaxy, and just random asteroids, which aren't really junk and more so just space objects. But how would I fix this? Firstly, remove one of the bosses, as 2 is far too much, especially just for a normal galaxy. And I say out of the 2, I'd say we remove Camilla, because we already fight her in Deep Dark, and because it's less fitting of the 2, as she's a witch, whilst Terrantox is a spider. And spiders, notoriously, live wherever the fuck ground exists. And starting with the missions, firstly, Star 1, the only thing I would change is really just the lax segment, which doesn't really feel like space junk too much. And I would rather have the platforms just be a bit more fitting, like maybe a few random sheets of metal, a random window, a cannon, just whatever you can think of. But now that the Star 2 Camilla fight doesn't exist, what would be Star 2? Well, simply make Star 2 use the underutilized Red Star to explore the vast emptiness of space and collect silver stars that are in different areas each time you play a galaxy. Bad for speedrunners, yes, but I don't care. Like, seriously, imagine a stage with truly space junk. You fly around and you fly up to different places and you pick up silver stars. Like, just imagine all the random stuff. Like, we could have the spaceships from earlier, but this time they're just mindlessly drifting off around space. And maybe we could have a dry bones in them to show that the crew died. And a clump of random metal scraps that cold fusion together, forming a planetoid. A few asteroids here and there because it's space and there's bound to be asteroids or comets. And because it's Mario, throw like a massive cup or a TV flickering on and off and just whatever else. Heck, maybe you could even have like a lost piece of the Comet Observatory, like the basement, a piece that drifted off centuries ago from this Comet Observatory and has found its place here in Space Junk Galaxy. And for Star 3, because we're keeping Terrantox, like I said earlier, but instead of the stage being mostly asteroids and a weird small planet, we shuffle a few things around. And for instance, make the places you sling yourself to start off as random scraps of metal or maybe a few asteroids because Space Junk Galaxy just likes its asteroids. But as you get closer, you see more scraps just webbed together because, well, you're getting closer to the spider's den. And then the little planet area thingy, whatever the hell it is actually the second last planet where you meet the Hungry Luma. And then after that is Terrantox, which would be the same. I'll discuss the secret star in a second, but now onto the prankster comets. Firstly, the purple coin comet will go to the Star 2 one as an untimed mission, so you can simply enjoy the feeling of flying around with the red star, collecting purple coins without a time limit, enjoying the soothing music. And as for the second one, I replaced the Speedster Comet with a Terrantox Daredevil, because I don't like the Speedster stars, to be honest. And as for the Secret Star, that will get a makeover too, as instead of a genocide, it will be a gear mode star, where within 30 seconds, you must use the red star to fly around to catch its coins, which are flying around a little area. And I'd say like 3 is a fair amount to collect with the star. But alas, those are my problems with Space Junk Galaxy and how they fix them. But this is the end of the video, so if you like what you saw, like and subscribe, and if not, tell me why in the comments, and I'll see y'all later.